Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I'm an alcoholic. And today, by the grace of God, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. I want to talk this morning, but before I do, I want to kind of give a disclaimer. When I speak of alcoholism, I'm talking about my own personal experience. I was never a drug addict, never had a problem with drugs. But I hope when you hear me use the word alcohol, when you hear me use alcoholism, I hope you just switch those words. If you're a drug addict, and I hope you just switch those words to drugs or to addiction, because at the end of the day, my belief is that we're all combating the same thing: addiction, be it in the form of alcohol, be it in the form of drugs. My friends will tell you, be it in the form of sugar, but that's beside the point. But so with that disclaimer, just to understand, I can only speak to this from an alcoholic perspective, but I have lots and lots of friends who tell me, who assure me that it's a lot of the same way with drug addiction. So there's my disclaimer. I used to drink because it made me feel like I was part of the cool kids club, like I could fit in to these social circles with friends and these social events that were taking place. It made me feel like I was fitting in with people who I otherwise would have never fit in with. That I couldn't fit in with because I was insecure. I was insecure about myself. I didn't like who I was. I was ashamed of myself because maybe I had this trait or this characteristics going on that they might judge me for. So I didn't feel like I fit in. But alcohol, man, that was liquid courage. I poured it down my throat, and all of a sudden, man, I could fit right in. And it was great. At the end of the day, it all came down to my own personal insecurities, my own feelings of self-value and self-worth. That's why I drink, because, again, we're all human beings, and human beings by nature, we are social animals, right? So we just want to fit in. I didn't ever felt like I fit in, but by God, I poured a little bit of alcohol down my throat. Wow, I was the life of the party, right? I was the cool kid for once in my life. I was the cool kid. I could fit into these things. Yeah. Okay. I fit in because of the alcohol, and that appealed to me. Again, we're social creatures. That appealed to me. I always believed that, you put me in a social situation with the drink, I was cool, man, until I wasn't. See, I was comfortable in those social situations as long as I had alcohol until I stopped being comfortable. I started becoming uncomfortable. And what happened was, I would drink with people, and in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I can help. Not only am I cool, am I getting the win because now I'm fitting in these social situations, but I'm also listening to other people who are drinking, and people who drink, we all know, they like to tell about all their problems. So I could listen to other drunks tell me about how bad their life was. And it would always tell me, see, Drew, in my mind, I'm like, see, your shit's not as bad as their shit is, right? And it worked for a while until it didn't work, until the alcohol stopped giving me that feeling, until the alcohol made me realize, shit, my vulnerabilities are becoming more and more exposed. I'm starting to have to work harder to hide my own insecurities. And lo and behold, these other people's problems, they weren't nearly as bad as mine. That's what I slowly began to realize as I started drinking with these people. Oh shit, so now what? What'd I do? The good old alcoholic mentality of mine, I started drinking alone. I started drinking in isolation because I didn't want exposed my own insecurities. I didn't want these people who had their own problems that I thought were worse than mine. I didn't want them to know what my problems were. I didn't want them to know that I didn't have my shit together, that I was insecure. I didn't want them to know that. So I started drinking by myself, still chasing that feeling of feeling adequate enough in my own mind. I still drank, even in isolation, just to make myself feel like I was worth something, just to make myself feel like I could accept who I was. But to no avail, time and time again. The more I drank, the longer I drank, the more and more I realized I'm just a piece of shit. And it was heartbreaking, and that's why it's incredibly important to feel comfortable. I was talking with Michael H. On the phone the other night. He lives out in Colorado, and it's an awesome talk, man. I wish we could have done like a Zoom meeting that way for like 4 hours. But he even made a comment. Michael made a comment. He's like, when I drank, I would go to the bars to drink because, well, those people were just, they were drinking, so I felt comfortable drinking with them. They were just as miserable as me. So I felt like my misery was okay. Misery loves company. Remember that old saying? And it got me thinking about me. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I drink I would drink to fit in. I would drink because I felt comfortable. That's why our crosstalk meetings, well, I say it all the time, are so important. We're not interested in the rules and the formalities and the pomp and circumstance, on how the meeting should operate. We don't give a shit. What we give a shit about is the person coming into the meeting. We want them to know that we don't care if they're insecure. We don't care about their vulnerabilities. We don't care about any of that. We're just happy they're fucking there. We don't care what brought them there. We're just happy they're there. And we're just there to communicate that message, as we say it all the time, of hope, healing, and restoration. That when they, just at the point in time in their lives when they think that they're hopeless, there is hope. Just at that point in time in their life when they think there's no way out, that you just can't stop drinking, they just can't stop drugging, we're there in the flesh, we're standing right before them to let them know, to give them that hope that, hey, you know what? We're drunks, we're drug addicts, and we got sober, we got clean. You can too. That's all we're there for. We're not worried about the rules governing how the meetings have to operate. We don't give a shit. Our meetings are driven by the people that attend them. At the end of the day, and one of the guys that comes to our meeting, he says it all the time. A problem shared is a problem cut in half. You walk into one of our crosstalk meetings and you share, man, you just cut that problem in half. And then keep in mind, you got a room full of like-minded individuals. They might have something to offer back in return. It frustrates me at times because I have walked into even AA meetings, and I'm an AA guy. Let me say this, I'm an AA guy through and through. All right, AA, the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, is the only thing that saved my life. So there's just unequivocally, it's the only thing that saved my life. But I've walked into AA rooms, not a whole lot, but I've walked into a couple, and they're more concerned about formalities. They're more concerned about their traditions of how the group is supposed to operate. How about we get more concerned about the people coming into the fucking rooms, right? What came first, the chicken or the egg, the person or the group, right? Well, without the group, and one can argue, rightfully so, without the group, the people can't get saved. Well, is that to imply that there's only one way for people to overcome their addiction? Is that what you're suggesting? There's only one way for people who is suffering from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body? There's only one way for them to recover? Well, that's not true at all. Scientific research has backed that up. So what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, I pose the question. Why are we more concerned about rules and formalities to the newcomer, imposing these rules and formalities, these traditions, I should say. Rules, I get the rules, but these traditions that we have to operate a certain way, or else, it's a violation of the rules, it's a violation of the traditions. And now again, I digress. Not every meeting, matter of fact, the majority of meetings, AA meetings, are not like that. But there are some I've been in, and it's frustrating. It is incredibly frustrating because they're more concerned about their traditions than they are about the people coming in to their meeting. And that's incredibly disheartening, but that's okay. I'm not here to get off on a tangent. I will say this, to the newcomer coming into the room, we sit there and tell them there's 12 steps. There's 12 steps you got to follow. By the way, you have to follow these 12 traditions too. Well, now those 12 steps became 24 in the newcomer's mind. Well, shit, no wonder they turn around and say, fuck this, I'm out the door. Let's start making people feel comfortable. Let's start making people feel welcome, that they can come in and sit and listen. They can come in, they don't have to say a word if they don't want to. Let's start making people feel like they're part of a community of like-minded individuals, all who share a common problem and a common solution. With that being said, I'll let you guys go. I hope you guys have an absolute kick-ass Monday, start of the week. I'm excited for this week to come. I want to thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I cannot be any more appreciative, and I know my family appreciates it too. If you have a topic you'd like to hear discussed, feel free to drop it in the Recovery Classroom private group. It's a private group on Facebook, the Recovery Classroom private group. You can drop it in there, and one of the guys will take a look at it, and we'll see what we can do. If you have a topic, you can email me directly, Drew, D-R-E-W, at recoveryclassroom.org. I'll take a look at it and see what we can do. We have Crosstalk meeting. Speaking of, we have Crosstalk meeting tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Pea Ridge United Methodist Church. If you're local to the Huntington, West Virginia, come on down and check it out. If you've never been to a Crosstalk meeting, it's probably unlike any meeting you've ever been to. So we'll be talking again soon. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.